DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves anyone out there, especially yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together in one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one philosophy, one book, one show. This daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. In today's topic, we're going to talk how to maintain your mental health amongst all the madness going on in society today. Whether you consider that madness to be COVID-19, hopefully that's over by the time you hear this, but maybe not. Whether that madness is the civil unrest that is going on when it comes to policing and different races of people in the streets, whether the madness is the political elections and campaigning that is going on in 2020, and whatever the backlash and fallout is going to be from the elections that happened in early November, which may or may not have occurred by the time you hear this. How do you maintain your mental health amongst all of this shit that is going on? Now, first of all, I'll credit Darby for asking me this question. She sent me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is at Dre Baldwin, by the way, for those of you who don't know. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should, because every day on my story, I talk about all kinds of different stuff that don't make it to any other platform. But she sent me a message asking this question, like, how does somebody maintain their mental sanity with all this stuff that is going on? If you are not really on the side of any of these things, but you have friends who are, and maybe you have friends who are on either side of it, and you are just trying to not get swept up in the whirlwind of all this stuff that is going on. What do you do? Whether you're a minority who feels marginalized, you feel you're targeted, you feel like you're in danger, whether you're a majority, if you're a white person in America, you're pissed off that people aren't seeing the bigger picture, whatever that bigger picture is to you. Whether you're a MAGA supporter, Donald Trump voter who feels like you're being attacked for your political views, or you're someone who is in between any of these things. What I'm going to talk about here today is how you stay sane through all of this shit, which is not going to end until at least February 2021. Yes, you heard me. February 2021. That's the earliest that all of this stuff is going to be over. That's the earliest that I would guess that people could stop being afraid of or whatever, being under the regulations of COVID-19 pandemic regulations, I guess we'll call it. That's the earliest that the fallout from the November 2020 election will be over, whatever it is, whether Trump wins or Biden wins or Kanye sneaks in and wins. Whoever wins, whatever the fall, it's going to be a fallout no matter who wins. Or it's going to be a fallout one way or another. That's going to last for several months, because remember that the new president doesn't actually take office until January. So it's going to be all of November, because the election is early November. So all of November, all of December, and half of January at least. There's going to be plenty of fallout from that happening. And what else is going on? And who knows what else is going to happen with any kind of cases, court cases, police situations, anything that happens between black people and the cops. This is going to be until at least February 2020. So what I suggest that you do is buckle up, listen to what I'm going to say here today, and make sure you are following my points. Point number one, the topic once again, how to maintain your mental health and mental sanity amongst all the shit going on in America right now, and that will continue to go on. Number one, limit your exposure. What is the first step that you should follow when you find yourself in a hole, ladies and gentlemen? The first step when you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. What does it mean when I say limit your exposure? I mean, stop watching the news every day. Any of you is 2020, you still watching the news? Whatever you consider to be news, the news, quote unquote, it ain't the news anymore. All right, news ended a long time ago. I told you back in masterclass number 1474, stop watching the news. The news initially started as a place to objectively tell you what happened. It doesn't do that anymore. Nowadays, the news tells you what happened. They tell you a piece of what happened, the part that they want you to know about, and then they give you their opinion of that little piece, and they blend it in such a masterful way that you think they're giving you objective facts when they absolutely are not. That's what the news does these days. Why do they do that? Because the news has to compete with social media, and that's what social media does. Social media has algorithms that automatically do this for you. They don't even have to think about it. Whereas the news, they got to think about it and figure out how to do it. And this is what the news is competing against, social media. How many times today have you been on a social media app and it's only 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning? How many times have you been on a social media app? A bunch of times already. And that's what the news is competing against. That's why the news has to do what the news is doing these days. Therefore, they are no longer giving you objective facts, just like social media doesn't give you objective facts. They give you what you are interested in because the algorithms are engineered to keep showing you the stuff that you already agree with. All right. If you didn't know, now you know. Stop watching the news every day. Whatever you think is news, stop watching it. Do not look at every Instagram post or tweet or YouTube video that is talking about this shit that is going on. I've had people send me messages and say, I see this video and I saw this tweet and I saw this Instagram post and this YouTube post about this thing and this guy saying this and this guy saying that and this person saying that. And I'm looking at the messages like, where the hell did you even hear of these people? I didn't even heard of some of these people that you're talking about. How do you even know about this? Why are you even looking for it? And if you are feeling overwhelmed by looking at all this stuff, how about you stop looking at it? So don't look at everything that is talking about whatever happens to be going on. Whenever I hear any kind of story, especially something like with the police dealing with black people and there's some type of engagement and somebody gets injured, somebody gets shot, somebody gets murdered, God forbid. The first thing I do, I go and I look for a news piece that gives me the information. And I'll tell you where I do not look. When I go look it up, I'm not reading the article by CNN. I'm not reading the New York Times. I'm not going to read Fox. I'm not going to read MSNBC. Why? Because all of these sites have proven that they skew the information from objective, factual information. They skew it to fit to tailor to the audience that they have built over time. And all of these publications or platforms that I just named, they have started to garner or tailor their material towards a certain type of audience. So I know if I read their material that information is not going to be 100% objective anymore. So I try to find, usually you know what I do? I try to find a site that I never even heard of. And let me see what they say, that they're going to just give me all the facts. And then once I look at it, then I try to look at maybe 2 or 3 more and see what are the commonalities that I'm getting over and over and over again. And then I'll know that I have a pretty good picture of it, but I know who not to listen to. So here's what I'm telling you to do. As I already told you, limit your exposure, stop watching the news, because it drives you up a wall, it will increase your anxiety, and it will disturb your sleep. And you need sleep. All right, this is a requirement in the universe. Here's what you do. Choose 3 to 5 sources that are both diverse and fair enough that you can know what's going on, but you are also not overwhelmed. That's what you need to do. Do not follow everybody. Do not listen to everybody. Do not engage with everybody. Sometimes you might say something, somebody's going to say something back. You do not have to reply to them. All right, today somebody on Twitter, not the day that you're hearing this, but somebody called me an idiot. I don't know who this person was. I looked at their profile. They're not following me. So I don't even know how they even saw what I wrote, but Twitter's a public platform. I didn't even respond to what they said because what do I get from responding to this person? Nothing. There's nothing that I gain. Choose 3 to 5 sources that are diverse and fair enough that you can know what's going on, but you are also not overwhelmed by responses. You're not overwhelmed by what people are talking about. You're not overwhelmed because you get so much conflicting information. 3 to 5 sources that you can trust. You figure out who they are. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is how do you maintain your mental health amongst all the madness going on in the United States? Point number 2, stop breaking your brain. Yes, breaking your brain. You didn't know it's possible to break your brain? Yes, you can break your ankle. You can break your, I don't know what else you can break. You can break your jaw. You can break your brain. Let me tell you how your brain gets broken. It is when you make the foolish attempt at changing another person's mind. Your brain gets broken when you try to change somebody's mind. Stop doing this. Human beings, you, me, and everyone else out there, think how they/we think. We think however we think. And most people, in case you didn't know, here's a news flash. Most people are not open to changing their beliefs, nor are they open to being flexible with their opinions. Most people are not open to changing their beliefs, nor are they open to being flexible with their opinions. Here's another way that you break your brain. All right, so first of all, don't try to change somebody's beliefs or try to make them be flexible with their opinions. You got that? Now, I've already told you many times here on this show why you need to keep your opinions flexible. Now, you might be like, well, Dre, you just said people are not open to being flexible with their opinions. That was masterclass number 734. Keep all your opinions flexible. But you say, Dre, you just said most people are not open to doing that. Well, guess what? This show ain't for most people. That's why I'm telling you that. I'm not telling everybody that. I'm telling you that. I'll say it out loud in front of everybody, but everybody ain't going to hear it. Some people are going to be like, huh? I don't even know what you're talking about. It's like speaking Chinese. Do not try to change people's opinions. Don't try to change their beliefs. Another way that you break your brain, because both of those things will break your brain. Another way you break your brain is trying to force what you know or believe onto other people who don't know it or who choose not to believe it. All right, this is a futile exercise. Stop doing it. Okay? Stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Stop trying to force your beliefs and your opinions onto other people who clearly do not have the same belief or the same opinion. Let me tell you another way that you break your brain. You can break your brain in multiple ways here, all right? So you need to be careful. Another way that you break your brain is wondering why people think how they think or why things are how they are, all right? Stop doing that too, all right? You will break your brain trying to figure it out. If you're trying to figure it out so that you can, come up with some material, some content, like that's what I do. I think about why people think the way that they think so that once I get a good enough understanding, I can do a masterclass about it and help you understand it. But I'm not trying to get to the existential meaning of life in doing it. I'm not that type of like a philosopher, Socrates or something like that. I'm just trying to give you some logical, rational, practical stuff that can help you work on your game so that you can be who you need to be. And one thing you need to do so you can be who you need to be is stop wasting your resources, time, money, attention, energy, focus on things that are not helping you get there. Trying to figure out other people's minds, stop it. Let me give you another way that you break your brain. No, actually, that was it. I think that's enough. Michael Jackson had a song called Human Nature, right? And what did he say in the song? Why? What is he asking? Why are things how they are? Why are people doing what they're doing? Stop trying to figure it out, okay? Would you try to stop rain from falling? If you go outside, you see it's raining, are you going to try to jump up and stop the clouds from releasing the rain? No, of course you wouldn't. Why? Because that's just what it is. That's just the way Mother Nature works, all right? So why do human beings think the way that they think? Why do you feel this way and they feel the exact opposite? Why do you know that these are facts and they believe they have a different set of facts and y'all can't agree on the facts? They're not facts if y'all can't agree on them. Why? Human nature. Do not try to understand why some people have nonsensical thought patterns because guess what? They are asking the same question about you. Point number 3, today's topic. How do you maintain your mental health amongst all the unrest and all the shit that is going on in the world right now? Number 3, do things that allow you to meditate, to relax rather. Meditate being one of them. Do things that allow you to relax, to calm down, to release energy, to create positive vibes, to get that oxytocin and serotonin flowing in your body. Positive vibe chemicals. All right, that's what you need. If that means taking a walk, if it means running through the park barefoot and listening to the birds chirp, if it means listening to some jazz and R&B music, going to the gym and hitting the punching bag for an hour, understand that the human brain is an automatic deletion machine. It notices what matters to you and it deletes everything else. So if you pay attention to everything happening around you, you will go crazy. It's impossible for you to do that. What you need to pay attention to are the things that help you feel good, the things that help you to relax, the things that help you to take your game where your game needs to go. And what is that for you? If you don't know, here's what I suggest you do. Every single day, meditate for at least 15 minutes. Go on the App Store on your phone. I know you have one. And get the Calm app or the Headspace app, and there are plenty of other apps. Just look up meditation. Just go in the App Store, type in the word meditation. All right, you don't have to type in the word app. You're already in the App Store. Type in meditation, and whatever app looks good to you, download it, use the free version, and meditate for 15 minutes a day. What is that going to help you do? First of all, it helps you clear your mind. It's kind of like it's like doing a restart on your laptop or on your phone. You know, sometimes your phone is acting all janky, it's not making any sense, and then you restart the phone and now it's working the way that it's supposed to be working. That's what you need to do with your brain. I mean, what's more valuable, your phone or your brain? All right, you restart your phone or restart your laptop whenever you get a notification that says, hey, there's a new update of the operating system of your laptop. You restart the laptop. How often do you restart your own brain? And sleeping is not a restart of your brain. Restarting your brain is meditation. It is when you are awake, but you're allowing yourself to not think about anything. You're allowing the thoughts to just float by. You're not going to be able to immediately make your mind go blank if you don't have experience meditating. But after you do it for a while, you will be able to do it, and maybe you won't. But even if you do notice thoughts, you allow them to just float by the same way if you're sitting outside and you watch clouds go by. You don't try to stop the cloud. You don't try to analyze the cloud. You don't try to argue with the cloud. You just watch the cloud go by, because it's going to go by either way. That's the same thing you need to learn to do with your thoughts through the practice of meditation. I did a whole masterclass on meditation, and let me tell you what masterclass that was. That was number 1476. Why you needed meditation practice in your life. And it was actually just 2 episodes after I told you to stop watching the news. All right, and there's a reason why they are so close together. All right, stop watching the news and start meditating. That can change your whole brain from the inside out immediately. Point number 4. Today's topic, once again, is how to maintain your mental health amongst all the shit going on in the world right now. Number 4 thing to do, check yourself. Yes, check yourself. What do I mean? Because right now, you may have SJDS. What is SJDS? It is social justice derangement syndrome. All right, what is that? What are the symptoms of social justice derangement syndrome? It means you are jumping up and down and running all around every time you hear anything or see anything or watch anything that has any way, shape, or form related to the social justice conversation or argument or conflict going on in the world these days. That is social justice derangement syndrome. Or you may have PDS. What is that? That is political derangement syndrome, where you have the exact same symptoms, but they are all triggered by anything that has to do with politics, with Biden or Trump, the Republicans, the Democrats, who's going to get elected to the whatever Senate or the Congress, or who's supporting who, or who's going to get named the new justice of the Supreme Court. That is political derangement syndrome, where you just run around anything about political. Or you may have CDS. What is that? That is COVID derangement syndrome. That is anytime you hear about anything with COVID, whether somebody makes an argument for or against masks, or they say it is okay to open the economy again, or they say kids should be in school or they shouldn't be in school, or talking about why somebody had a mask on and why they didn't, or any type of regulation or rule that has been relaxed or has been enforced or has been amped up, or somebody talking about the vaccine, or someone blaming some country or some governor on why the disease has spread even more, whatever it is, and you get all reactive about it, that is CDS, that is COVID derangement syndrome. If you have any of these diseases, social justice derangement syndrome, political derangement syndrome, or COVID-19 derangement syndrome, you must see a professional immediately. And guess what? You are listening to a professional right now. Check yourself, okay? You are giving too much attention to every single thing that is being said, whether you agree or disagree with it, does not matter. If you're giving too much attention to it, you can develop this syndrome. Again, whether you like it or don't, you can get it's too much candy, bad for you? Yes. So not enough or too much can destroy you. It is overwhelming you. That is what it's supposed to do. All right, that's what a syndrome is supposed to do. It's supposed to overwhelm your immune system, okay? Your mental immune system is being overwhelmed by social justice, politics, and COVID-19, and whatever else you got going on. You must head off this affliction by following what I've already told you. Respect your mental and emotional limitations. Yes, you do have them, and set yourself up for success. The same way that in the wintertime, if you go outside, you probably put on a coat, at least if it's cold in the winter, wherever you live. Why? Not because you are hoping anything bad happens. You put on a coat to protect your body so that you don't catch a cold, because you don't want to get sick. It's the same thing you need to do when it comes to these syndromes that I'm talking about and the quote-unquote news that is no longer news. You need to protect your mind the same way you protect your body, the same way you protect your phone, the same way you protect your wallet. You don't let anybody just go and do whatever they want to do with it. You don't allow it to come into harm's way. You don't allow it to get destroyed by anything or anyone that has no stake in it. You got to check yourself. Check yourself if you have one of these syndromes. Do something about it by following what I told you in point number 3, and I'll get to that as we recap today's class, which is how do you maintain your mental health amongst all the madness going on in the world today. Point number 1, limit your exposure. Remember that the news is no longer the news, so stop watching it. You can stop. I said stop watching it every day. Stop watching it, period. All right, the news is not informing you. The news is programming you, and that's 2 different things. Do not look at every IG post or tweet or YouTube video talking about one thing or another, because it will drive you up a wall and increase your anxiety and it'll keep you from sleeping. Choose 3 to 5 sources that are diverse and fair enough, according to you, that you know what's going on, but you are also not overwhelmed by it. People who are rational and logical and fair enough that they can acknowledge solid points on either side of an argument. Anyone who cannot do those things, you are listening to the wrong person. I would say find people who are like me, or you can just focus on me. Point number 2, stop breaking your brain. Here's how your brain breaks. Here's way number 1, trying to change other people's minds. That is impossible. Another way you break your brain, trying to force what you know or believe onto other people who don't know it and don't want to believe it. This is a futile exercise. Another way you break your brain, trying to figure out why people think the way they think or why things are how they are. Like Michael Jackson said in this song, it is human nature. Would you try to stop the rain from falling? No. Then don't be an idiot and try to stop somebody from thinking the way that they think. All right, same way you were like an idiot from trying to stop the rain. Number 3, do things that allow you to relax, such as meditation, taking walks, listening to jazz and R&B, go to the gym to blow off some steam. Whatever it is you do to make you relax besides scrolling social media. The human brain is an automatic deletion machine. It only notices what you are focused on. If you focus on positive vibes, things that make you feel good, it will notice more of those things. If you focus on the things that are driving you up a wall, you will get driven further and further up the wall till you run out of gas and you fall off the wall, and that's probably going to hurt. Point number 4, check yourself. Right now, you may have SJDS, PDS, or CDS, social justice, political, or COVID derangement syndrome. It is where you become mentally deranged because you are too focused on too much of that stuff. It's almost like your brain needs. You become a drug addict, basically, to whatever those topics are and people talking about them, whether you agree or disagree. Stop giving so much attention to things that are not helping you get to where you want to go in life. You are helping them get where they want to go. They are not helping you get where you want to go. That is not a good relationship. Head off this affliction by following what I've already told you. Respect your mental and emotional limitations. Yes, you have them. Set yourself up for success by eliminating things. Not adding, but eliminating. It's like wearing a coat in the winter. This is a coat for your mind. You ain't even got to pay for it. You put it on layaway. Work on your game. Dre, all